All right, so welcome back, fellow builders. Last time you saw that we took the two cars drag racing, and Kayla's car did great. She ran her fastest time ever. Fastest time I've ever ran in this. But the next day, one of the two cars was not running right, and that was the Caprice. So we went to go to the movies the next day, and we got a P0206, which is a injector code, number 6 to be exact. So we just have the plug off of the injector, and pretty straightforward. All we have to do is check the one pin for 12 volts with the key in the on position, and then the other one should be going to ground from 12 volts when we are cranking or the engine's running. So we're gonna go ahead and do that real quick, and we should know pretty definitively whether it needs an injector, an ECU, or some wiring fixes. All right, so multimeter set to voltage. Find a good ground, probably this. So we gotta figure out which pin, I think I got it right first try. Yep, okay, we have 12 volts. So now we're gonna start the engine. We'll put our ground probe on here and the positive to 12 volts, and this should be grounding out to 0. Now, I don't know if this multimeter will move fast enough to tell me. Usually you can just use a light, a little probe, and to tell you if you're getting 12 volts or not, and the light just flashes on and off. I might have to make one if this doesn't work, but I think I should be able to get this to work. So let's start her up and see what we can get. Now, I don't know if you can hear me, probably a little bit louder, but the exhaust, as soon as I started it up that day, I could tell it was not running right. The exhaust is noticeably different note. So I'm just gonna go in here, get a good 12 volt signal. All right, so we've got 12 volts, put it on here, and all right, so I'm not getting a very good signal out of this. I think I'm getting a good signal out of there. I don't think my sampling rate on my multimeter is fine enough. So basically I'm just reading 12 volts because it's not sampling enough to tell me when it is or isn't firing. All right, so I've made a very, very crude test light here. We're just gonna give this a shot. I hope this works. Oh yeah, okay. So, pretty sure you guys should be able to see this. Put it up here maybe. There we go. So as you guys can see, we are getting our firing signal. So that leads me to believe, and according to everything I've seen online, that that is a bad injector. So now we get to dig into changing the injector. Alright, so I'm getting ready to put the new injector in. I just put a little bit of oil on the seals just to help it seal up, and it won't really matter if it goes through. I didn't get any on the inside, but whatever. So I got it ready because there's going to be a little bit of fuel left in the rails, so I want to be able to stuff it in as fast as I can. Once I get the old one out, I got a rag in here to try and catch any of the fuel that is going to indefinitely leak out. So first, got the clip pulled off. Now I'm going to just pry this injector out. So now I can get everything bolted back down, hook up the connectors, make sure there's no fuel puddled up on the intake where it can catch on fire, and be ready to start her up. All right, so now that we got the car running great again, let's mess it up. So we're going to be doing some more drag racing probably here in a couple weeks. We got 2 more left in the season, and I want to add 2-step. So I have this MSD ignition 2-step box that you just give it power or ground to activate it, and everything else it just plugs into your engine harness. So I think it's gonna be pretty straightforward. I just gotta figure out where I'm gonna mount it, and I'm probably gonna use the ground one, run a ground wire into the car on a little button, and we're gonna go from there. That's literally how easy this thing is to install. Other than running the signal wire inside the car, it's done. And 2 bolts probably to mount this somewhere, kind of hidden, but still accessible to get to the little dials on it. Right now it's set to like 1500 RPMs, which I probably be pretty decent for drag racing. I don't know, we'll have to see. So let's run the signal wire inside and test it out. All right, so we just got it done. It's almost dark already, but it's only like 4:30. Anyways, box right here is mounted. Got the wire running through there. And then we got the switch kind of right there. And let's test it out. So right now I just have it set to like 2000, I think. So you can see it goes over 2000. Push the switch. There we go, holds right at 2000. So yeah, we got drag racing here in a couple weeks, and we're using, see how consistent we can get with our times. So thanks for watching, and until next time, just keep building.